August car sales data is out. Ahead of the festive season, Indian automakers have posted an increase in passenger and commercial vehicle sales for August. Joining in is my colleague Krishnakumar to run us through the numbers. Krishna, explain to us the numbers at an all-time high there, at least for Maruti Suzuki, as we discussed this morning.
We do have a Honda Elevate over here in the picture. We will talk about Honda Elevate a little later because that is the launch from Honda as far as the SUV space is concerned. We begin with the auto numbers. We talk about the big auto players in the Indian market. We have Maruti Suzuki, we have Hyundai, we have M&M, and we have Tata Motors. Across the board, if you see, there has been an uptick in sales from Maruti, M&M. Only Tata Motors, for just the headlines, Shweta, only Tata Motors seems to have a drop in passenger vehicle sales of around 3.5%. But whereas you take up, and even Tata Motors, if you see, it had great export numbers, zooming as far as Tata Motors is concerned. But overall, the passenger vehicle sales for Tata Motors in India was down 3.5% from 47,166 to 45,513, and this is for the month of August 2023 compared to the month of August 2022. So it's a year-on-year comparison where the numbers are a little down as far as Tata Motors is concerned. But the headline as far as Tata Motors, Shweta, incidentally, is electric vehicle sales. Electric vehicle sales for Tata Motors up 55%. If you look at it, wow, this is the sales for Tata Motors broken down in terms of simple numbers. 1,517 cars daily being sold, 63 cars being sold every hour, and just about one car every minute as far as Tata Motors is concerned. But the real headlines, Shweta, is the electric vehicle sales. You have Tata Tiago, Tata Tigor, Tata Nexo. Electric vehicle sales are up 55%. Exports are up 125% as well, from just 185 units in the month of August last year to 420 units in the month of August this year. So Tata Motors' exports doing really well. So good shot in the arm for India's Make in India is concerned. Tata Motors EV sales has been talking about up 55%. Nexon, Tiago and Tigor are the EV models from Tata Motors stables. Clearly, they are up and coming, up and rising. As far as India is concerned, a majority of Indian car passengers will be, who are EV passengers, will be driving Nexon, Tiago and Tigor. Let's move on to the other big automakers in the country. We have M&M and Hyundai and also Maruti as well. If you can pull up what we have over here. We have
M&M here.
Numbers, and we have
M&M here.
We have M&M numbers over here. August 37,270, up 26% as far as August domestic sales. All of these sales, Shweta, bear in mind, are for the month of August in the sales in India is concerned. So M&M also posting the highest ever SUV sales. There you go, 1,200 odd cars being sold by M&M daily on average, 52 cars every hour, and just a little less than one car every minute being sold by M&M. As far as M&M's car sales is concerned, the big headline from the month of August was the fact that it was one of the highest ever SUV sales it has posted, which means all Mahindra cars, SUVs, your Thar, XUV 700, XUV 300, Scorpio, all the Scorpio variants and the Bolero, all of them are doing extremely well and posting their highest sales for a particular month. That's what M&M is doing. And let's move on to other car makers that we're talking about, because Shweta, we're only discussing the passenger cars over here. We're not talking about M&M's tractors and other commercial vehicles it sells. There you go. This is the total number. This includes exports as well. The overall sales being up 19%, Shweta, to over 70,000 units being sold, that compared to less than 60,000 units being sold in the month of August last year. So this is M&M's broad picture. So both domestic sales are up and rising, and exports too showing an uptick. So put together, overall, more than 70,000 units from M&M's stable. There you go, Hyundai over there, a growth of little less than 9% to around 50,800 units being sold from Hyundai India. Bear in mind, this is Hyundai India Automotive Limited, HIAL. So this is the domestic sales from Hyundai India's unit. The overall sales is a different number, but there you go. Hyundai posting 8.7% growth from just about 49,500 units in the same month last year. That's around 1,794 cars being sold every day, around 75 cars every hour, and around 1.25 cars every minute. So more than one car per minute being sold by Hyundai's India unit, the South Korean car maker, who's been in the country for more than 3 decades now, continuing with its robust run in the India market. This is the Hyundai sales equation. Domestic sales up by 8.7% and exports up 38.5%. So that's also on the rise. So both Hyundai and M&M, even as the domestic sales increase, their exports are also zooming up considerably. So Shweta, great shot in the arm for Make in India cars for sure. Hyundai India, imagine a giant like Hyundai, a South Korean giant, now majorly exporting from its India units to over 17,600 units being exported from Hyundai India's manufacturing plant to across the world. So overall, if you see, Shweta, the numbers for the month of August are definitely showing an uptick as compared to August last year, and we are, after all, at the threshold of the festive season. So let's also quickly, before we wrap things up, also talk about Hyundai's, what is going to happen for Hyundai, which is its Exters and its Creta. Exter, incidentally, getting more than 65,000 bookings. And Hyundai, a car company that began with the tall boy small cars, today in India, it has more than 60% of their sales coming from SUVs. So clearly, overall, if you see all car companies moving in the SUV direction, SUVs continuing to do well, electric vehicles continuing to do well, whichever company has done enough, like Tata Motors. So that's the overall picture. All those of you who've got your extra bookings, you might have to wait longer than you think because that's the kind of booking, 65,000 plus bookings already for the extra. And there you go, finally, the largest car maker in the country, Maruti Suzuki, up 14.5% to nearly 2 lakh units being sold. Shweta, what is India driving? If you ask that question, you go back to that question, India drives Maruti mostly. The numbers really tell the picture. More than 5,300 cars being sold every single day at Maruti dealerships across the country. More than 220 cars being sold every hour. Look at those numbers, 3.68 cars, more than 3.5 cars being sold, Shweta, every minute. That should tell you. And we're talking about the growth of SUV, Shweta. There you go, the mini segment of Maruti, all of them, Alto, Espresso, Ignis, all your small cars in Maruti stable, witnessing a 45% drop from 22,000 units in August 2022 to just about 12,000 units this August. And compact segment has been flat. The van segment has also been flat. So again, the question, what is India driving? India is driving SUVs of different shapes and sizes. The compact SUV, mid-size, there you go, mid-size sedan, sales down 44%. There's evidence after evidence that people are not buying sedans, people are not buying small cars, people are not buying vans too much. Utility vehicles, 118%. What is utility vehicles? We're talking about your SUVs and even your MUVs that Maruti launches. Right. So all the UVs, especially the SUVs, are literally the order of the day. They're not the headline, they're just the order of the day.
Okay, I just wonder whether we have those kind of roads in India for people to be buying these many SUVs.
Oh, Shweta, that's counterintuitive. You want the SUVs because it comes with those bigger wheels, with better shock absorption as well. So to deal with the Indian roads. So this is the average Indian counting for bad roads and buying cars that can deal with those bad roads. Right. So clearly, there you go, Brezza, Ertiga, Fronx, Grand Vitara, Invicto, Jimny, S-Cross, XL6, SUVs and MUVs are literally what India's largest car maker and India's smallest car maker, everybody is selling from across the board.
And so we are on SUV, Honda's Elevate was launched today at a price point of 11 lakh rupees. Run us through those numbers.
Oh, there you go. 10.99 to 15.99 lakh rupees. Honda, bear in mind, has been a laggard as far as the SUV space is concerned. It has all these CRVs and HRVs, but nothing in the proper compact SUV or the 10 lakh, 15 lakh category of SUVs. And hence, with that price point, it will compete with the Hyundai Creta, with the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara and the Kia Seltos. In that price bracket, so to speak, bookings did begin in July. But Shweta, the thing is this, whoever booked it in July, they might be having a 6-month waiting period even, or if you're booking it now or in the month of August, you definitely need to witness a 6-month waiting period. So Elevate is Honda's big gambit to break into the SUV market. The reviews so far say the Elevate is good, but nothing outstanding.
Okay.
It's a good car. That's what the reviews that I'm hearing are
I like the price
about.
point.
The price point is fantastic. That's probably going to be the biggest selling point as far as the Honda Elevate is concerned. A great product. We'll have to see how much of a dent it can make into the SUV sales of other companies. But here is the deal. Honda has promised to launch another 5 SUVs by the year 2030. So we're looking, this is the beginning of Honda's SUV play, the Elevate. It's elevating its SUV game. We'll have to wait and watch whether consumers elevate the brand in the market and give it a greater share. We have to wait and watch for that.
All right, so big story playing up there in the Indian auto space, where SUVs are definitely the new game, where we are not just looking at 1 or 2 or 3 more SUVs, but we're looking at a host of SUVs being launched, and not just any SUVs. In fact, electric vehicle, which is again going to be, Krishna, one of the big impetus, not just from Tata, but also from Mahindra, hopefully from Honda as well. Electric vehicles is going to be the big game. An electric vehicle powered SUVs that are not running anymore on ICE engines, perhaps are running on batteries and on sustainable fuel. That is going to be closely watched at.
We are waiting. We have now arrived at the size and the dimension. The size and the dimension is roughly a compact SUV or a mid-size SUV is what Indians like. That's the size that they like. And hence, today, if you see, as far as the SUV market, the normal SUV market is concerned, 48% of sales in India, car sales in India, come from SUVs. And you're talking about this at a time when a diesel SUV maker like Mahindra has launched the electric version of their iconic Thar. So every single iconic SUV is going to start having its electric variant, and the sales of that, how well you can push those sales will be something that every automaker is keeping their eyes on. You have even MG Motors, one of the smallest automakers in the country, auto sales in the country, even that has, amongst its very small portfolio of products, has an SUV which is an electric car. So electric car variants you will definitely see being added. Tata, for instance, has 3. Nexon is a top-selling mid-compact SUV, which is an EV as well. So there are certain models which have already connected well, have already done good sales. Now, it's about the rest picking up. Like Honda has just entered the SUV race and is promising to launch an Honda Elevate electric version as well.
Already,
we'll have to first see how well the normal SUV does, and then we'll talk about how well the electric version of the Honda Elevate does.
So the fast moving cars perhaps have become the SUVs, and people are choosing very, very quickly. Their tastes are changing very, very quickly, going for, of course, more sustainable models at a very fast clip. We'll, of course, keep tracking all those data points and data numbers that are announced monthly, as a matter of fact.